Okay, here comes Mr. Saldana now. I'm going to see if I can remember how we used to do this. It's been a while. Okay, Brandy, are you ready? All right. Okay. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's an adversary hearing in the Brandy Ray is our court reporter recording today's hearing. Karen Cortez is my court coordinator. Rhonda Wiederstein is observing on behalf of the DA's office in Hays County. Mr. Stanford, Jonathan Stanford, is placement for the child. And CASA of Central Texas is observing. And I'm not certain who Tiffany is. Is Tiffany also a placement?
Yes, she is placement.
Okay.
Also.
All right. Very good. Thank you. Everyone else will need to unmute your device when I call on you. Tell me your name and how you're related to the case or to the children in the case. Mr. Galvan, we'll start with you.
John Galvan, attorney for the department.
Mr. Baker.
Your Honor, may it please the court, Ty Baker for the respondent father, Jeremiah Stanford. We are present and ready.
Thank you. Mr. Saldana? Yeah.
There we go. Hello. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes.
It's okay.
Berto Saldana for Brittany Knuckles, mother. She's present. We're ready.
Mr. Hardy?
John Hardy, attorney for the child.
Ms. Knuckles?
Brittany Knuckles, mom.
Mr. Stanford, Jeremiah?
Yes, Jeremiah Stanford, the father.
Ms. Castro?
Arlene Castro, CPS investigator.
And Ms. Cook?
Princess Cook, investigation supervisor.
Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Baker, Mr. Saldana, are there any agreements between your clients and the department or TMC to the department?
Yes, Your Honor. She's in agreement with the TMC to the department, and she's agreeing to work services.
Mr. Baker?
Your Honor, indeed, my client just wants an opportunity to prove that he can be a good father. And because the child is placed with his grandparents, we're asking for relatively liberal visitation as we go forward. In this case, perhaps by agreement with the grandparents, who strike me as being extraordinarily responsible and capable of supervising.
Okay, I'm sure that can be worked out. I'll go ahead and appoint CASA to the case. Mr. Hardy, is TMC to the child in the child's best interest?
Yes, and I also believe that visitation has gone very well and that the grandparents would be able to supervise, and I believe they can supervise visits for both parents.
Okay, all right. Well, be sure you have a plan for visitation schedule, and that it's not inconvenient for the placement or anything, but that it's an appropriate time schedule considering this is a new infant.
Thank you, Judge. And Mr. Rodriguez, can you state your name?
Let's see here. So let's see here. Karen's going to be giving us our dates here in just a minute. Ms. Ray will send you on chat. We're going to stop talking here for a second so she can chat her email address to Mr. Galvan or to everyone. Okay, and while Karen is getting our dates together, a couple of things we need to talk about, and I know that both of you are aware of the fact that I am an associate judge, and you do have a right to object to me within the next 10 days. In addition to that, you have a right to demand a jury. I'm going to give you the date for your jury trial or jury demands here in just a moment, along with the other dates. Your dismissal date is March 17, 2025. I did appoint CASA, didn't I?
Yes.
I mean, I intended to. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And so CASA will be visiting with Mr. Hardy. CASA will be visiting with the grandparents and the child at the grandparents. Who is Tracy that's come on?
I'm reporting for a different case, I think.
Which case are you here for? Okay, yeah, that's at 9:30. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room for just a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
you. I'm sorry.
No worries. Okay, and because the child is in a relative placement, we're going to need to order child support. Mr. Stanford Jeremiah, do you have any other children?
No, ma'am.
Okay, this is your only child. Okay. What do you do for a living?
I'm a full-time student
Okay.
at the
Okay. You're going to need to find a way to make some money because I'm going to order minimum wage child support for you as well as for the mother. I know the mother has more children, so that'll go and be taken into consideration, and Mr. Baker can assist, or Mr. Saldana can assist with that. And that's going to be effective April the 1st. I don't believe Ms. Knuckles indicated that it applied in her previous case. Mr. Stanford, would you have any reason to believe that your child would be eligible for membership in a Native American tribe?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay, so ICWA is denied. If you don't already have a pen and a piece of paper, you might want to grab one because I'm going to be giving you some dates here in just a second.
Judge, don't give out that status hearing. I put Comal on that one. I didn't realize it till, I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot because we're here in Comal,
Okay.
and I just got confused. I confused
No,
myself.
no worries. No worries. You want to correct that for me?
Yeah.
Okay, now parents, while Karen's doing that, I'm going to tell you, you need to abstain from any illegal substance abuse. You need to abstain from any illegal activity or associate with individuals that do engage in criminal activity. It's very important. And Ms. Knuckles, this is not your first rodeo, as they say, so you're going to really need to step up to the plate. I know you already have an open case in another matter and that you've been still testing positive. If you've decided that you're not interested in parenting your child, you're more than welcome to talk to your attorney about it, and he'll have some paperwork that you can sign that would alleviate you from all these inconveniences of being a parent. And while Karen is looking for a date in 2025 for your trial setting, I'm going to go ahead and give you the rest of your settings. As I said, your dismissal is March 17, 2025. We're coming back for a status hearing May 10th at 2. That's May 10th at 2. That will be in person at the Hays County Courthouse, so show up in person. After that, we'll have a permanency review. We'll have 2 permanency reviews. The first one is August the 30th at 9. That's August the 30th at 9. Second permanency review is November 15th at 9. November 15th at 9. And trial is January 25th of 2025.
24th, I put the
At
25th on accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the 25th is a
Okay,
weekend.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
we
it's
don't want
the
to come on a
24th.
weekend. Okay.
Yeah, 24th.
Thank you. So January 24th at 9. That's January 24th at 9 is your trial setting. So that means that jury demands are going to be due anywhere between October the 14th of 2024 through November the 14th of 2024. That's when your jury demands are due. And your attorneys will talk to you about what that means. So October 14th through November 14, 2024. Does anyone need me to repeat a date or anything? Okay. Ms. Knuckles, do you have any questions about anything that's expected of you so far?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Stanford, Jeremiah, do you have any questions about anything so far?
No.
Okay, very good then. Parents, the law requires that I give you a warning at the end of every hearing, and that warning is that if you cannot or will not provide a safe and stable home for your child, your parental rights may be restricted or terminated. Good luck to you. I'll see you next on May 10th at 2 in person. Arnado is observing on behalf of the DA's office in Hays County. Everyone else will need to unmute your device when I call on you. Tell me your name and how you're related to the case or to the child in the case. Ms. Wilhelm, we'll start with you.
Amanda Wilhelm, attorney for the department. I'm actually standing in for James, so it'll be James' case from here on out, though.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Manuel?
Zach Manuel, I'm representing respondent mother. She is trying to log on. I just reset her the Zoom ID, so hopefully she will be on shortly.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Meredith?
Dawn Merritt, attorney for respondent father Jaden Sandiego.
Mr. McCormick,
McCormick, attorney ad litem for the child.
Mr. Sendejo,
Jaden Sandejo, I'm the parent. Jose.
thank you. Jose, thank you. Ms. Tracy Sendejo,
Yes, ma'am. I'm grandparent.
state your name.
Tracy Lynn Sandejo, Jose's grandparent, Jaden's mom.
Thank you. Ms. Cabrera
Investigator for Child Protective Services.
and Ms. Cook.
Princess Cook, Investigation Supervisor.
Thank you. If you're not an attorney, would you raise your right hand, please? Oh, everybody froze.
Judge.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So you'll have to verbally announce that you've heard my question and respond with a yes or a no. Do you swear any testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Sendejo?
Yes, I swear.
Ms. Sendejo?
I do.
Ms. Cook?
Yes.
And Ms. Cabrera?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And have you all had an opportunity to confer? And are there any agreements for court-ordered services?
Yes, I have, Judge. My client is agreeing to court-ordered services, and we are asking for one additional service, couples counseling.
Okay. Mr. Manuel, is your client
Your Honor, my client is logging on right now. We are in agreement to working services. I would say we're not in agreement to adding couples counseling right now. As far as I'm aware, these parents are going to work these plans separately at this moment. So that's a conversation I'd have to have with her.
Okay. Let's let her get on here.
And Judge, my understanding is that I believe individual counseling is, or psychological and possibly individual counseling is part of the requested services. So I would suggest that the couples counseling simply be part of, if the individual counselors recommend it be part of that, because it's going to be individual counseling and follow all recommendations of the service providers, or the psychological and follow all recommendations. So they're going to have to follow the recommendations of the service providers. So if the individual service providers recommend the family counseling, then I think it should be added. But till then, I mean, I don't know if these parents are going to be together or not together. And I'm always hesitant to put couples counseling in a family plan or court-ordered services if the parents are not living together or married, because you never happen.
Well,
right.
The reason that my client and I discussed it is because they are a couple. I don't think they're living together, but they are a couple, and that's been a problem, you know.
Okay. So Ms. Meredith, what we'll do is we'll let the therapist that provides each of them individual therapy make a recommendation about that. And if they recommend that they have couples counseling as together, then I won't have a problem with that. Be happy to let them participate in that. Ms. Blanco, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Would you state your name and tell me how you're related to the child in the case?
I'm Lexi Blanco. I'm his mom.
Thank you. And Ms. Blanco, do you swear any testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I swear.
Okay. And then, Mr. McCormick, are these services in the best interest of the child?
Yes, they are, but I do have some concerns that to make sure that we do some protective parenting. I mean, there was a protective order entered December 29th. I mean, that's extremely recent domestic violence. I think there needs to be some protective parenting.
I agree. So we're going to add that to the service plan. Parents, you found yourself in a very serious situation, but your parental rights are not at risk right now. My review of the reasons that this case came to be, I'm surprised that it's not a case where your child was legally removed from your home and that your parental rights are at risk. So that's quite surprising to me. There will be absolutely zero tolerance for any domestic violence going forward. So neither one of you needs to lay hands on the other, throw things, or do anything inappropriate. And neither one of you are to use any substances that are illegal to use or abuse legal substances. So let's just be real clear, because this case can escalate real fast. Do you understand, Mr. Sendejo?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand, Ms. Blanco?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so those services are now going to be an order of the court, and it's as a court order. One thing that you need to know that could happen is it's a crime to violate a court order, and that crime is called contempt of court, and you can go to jail for up to 6 months and/or pay a fine of up to $500. So it's extremely important that you work each and every one of these services. If you have any problems getting your services started, Ms. Cabrera, are you going to be the point person for them from this point forward? Or do you know who will?
So it would most likely be sent over to family-based services.
Okay. Someone will be contacting you, Ms. Blanco and Mr. Sendejo, letting you know that they're going to be your contact person for services. They'll give you a list of these services and the service providers. It's up to you to call and make appointments and be a part of those services. If you can't work something out, get in touch with your attorney. Don't wait until we come to court. Be very active if you're interested in parenting this child. Karen, when are we coming back?
June 21st at 11.
We're going to come back on June 21st at 11, and that's going to be in person in Hays County. So show up in person, and we'll review how things are going. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I think that concludes our hearing. Thank you all. You're free to go.
I have a question.
Okay.
I just wanted to know if Jaden can be allowed to have a birth certificate with him as the father on it.
I thought he already did.
No, ma'am.
He's not listed. He's not listed on the. Let me talk to him. He's the he's the party here. So, Mr. Sendejo, you did not sign the birth certificate. Is that correct?
I wasn't at the hospital at the time that they were asking to sign it.
Okay. So listen to my question. You did not sign that birth certificate?
No. Correct.
Okay. And you're not married to Ms. Blanco right now, are you?
No.
Okay. And Ms. Blanco, do you have any doubts as to who the father of your child is?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And Mr. Sendejo, do you have any doubts that you're the father?
We did a DNA test. We did a DNA test already.
You did a DNA test. Okay, very good. So you'll have to get with the state of Texas, the Bureau of Vital Statistics, to get his name put on the birth certificate. That's not something I do in this type of case. Okay, but it can be done. He can talk to his attorney about it too. It can be done. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you all. I'll see you June 21st at 11. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
How do I disconnect?